Director James Gunn has explained why he spends so much time debunking false claims. Everywhere you look, there's like 100 scoops a week for Marvel and, well, like a dozen for DC. The grifters have figured out that you can't scoop James Gunn because he's going to debunk you. So let's see why he explains why he does this. You guys know how this works, and I think even most of the people that fall for the grift know how this works. They just don't want to admit it. Scoopers have tested the waters, and James Gunn is like a super hungry shark. The moment he senses blood, he's after them. Therefore, scoopers try to scoop the DCEU and the DCU. The DCEU, it worked. But James Gunn stuff didn't. Now that he's in charge of DC Studios, people try to scoop. He just straight up goes out there and starts debunking them, laying waste to their claims that they're insiders. So that's why literally most of these scoopers only focus on Marvel. Marvel never does this, and they know that they can fool their fan base and make money. It's a get-rich-quick scheme, and it keeps on happening. So recently, James Gunn was talking with EW, and, well, they decided to ask him about scoop culture and why he constantly goes up against these people and why he lashes out at them. And he said, and I quote, "There are a couple of people who just constantly post inaccurate stuff. 95% of what they say isn't true. Maybe once in 20 times, there's a sliver of truth, but it gets old. In some ways, I might even be helping them by responding. They get more traffic, and I think they enjoy that. So I've mostly stopped." End quote. Okay, so I appreciate this and what he said and what he's saying here and all that. But he also adds a little bit more, which I think is interesting. So I want to read the next part of the quote. He said, and I quote, "For example, if we're in early talks with the director and suddenly a rumor spreads that another completely unrelated director is attached to the project, that can create a confusion or even disappointment. Same with casting. When people's emotions or reputations are on the line, I shut it down fast." End quote. Has this not been what I've been saying for years, guys, and why I hate scoop culture and these scoopers who are grifters? They live off of this by making up lies. Just think about this for a second. An actor maybe is going to get the breakthrough role of their life. And suddenly, maybe there's a little truth to that actor auditioning for this or that. But suddenly, they toss out 5, 6 different names. And then some scooper comes along and say, well, they're looking at this actor, but they don't believe he's the right height or something. And then this director or writer is in talks, but they put out this project that has a woke element to it. So Marvel and DC don't want them. James goes out there and debunks this because there's no truth to it. And as he said previously, 95% of what they say is BS, and it is. People don't keep up with it. There was actually people that were keeping up with scoops from the most prolific Marvel scoopers out there. And I talked about it. Since Endgame, 4 scoopers have dropped over 5,000 scoops. Guess how many of these scoops were wrong? Last I checked, before they stopped updating it, well over 80%, because they threw out everything. And a lot of these are correct because they used what me and you could use as scoop intuition. Like, hey guys, exclusive scoop. Other multiverse characters will be back in Deadpool and Wolverine. And they claim that as a victory, when any one of us could have predicted that. That's why he's stopping it, because they're full of shit. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.